Pokemon news. What's up, guys? It's Davey. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are great, and I really appreciate you guys for stopping by today. Huge day in the world of Pokemon. If you didn't know, which I didn't know, I was not ready until I started seeing so many freaking tweets about it, but a new Pokemon Direct dropped today. It was so chock full of Pokemon news, and I usually do like a reaction, but that kind of makes the video really long, and hopefully I don't ramble too much and make this video really long. I wanted to go ahead and kind of highlight all the new and awesome things that Pokemon is doing. Let's go and do it. Okay, so Pokemon Direct today started at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So they announced a huge game. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. Now, if you didn't play the Blue Rescue Team or the Red Rescue Team in the DS days, it was a great spin-off to entire Pokemon franchise, what you're used to going and collecting gym badges. You are basically a Pokemon yourself, and you go around and you roam dungeons, and it was hella fun. I personally never completed it. Seeing that a new mystery dungeon is coming out makes me want to play it again and pick it back up. But the awesomest thing is that it's going to be coming out in March 6, 2020. So literally 2 months away is all you have to wait to get this game. But I would recommend picking up the older one for DS, because they should be fairly cheap now, since it's an older game. But with all the hype, I don't know if like your game store might jack up the price just a little bit. But you can pre-purchase it, pre-order it, what have you, on the eStore. It's already there, $59.99 as usual game price. But there's also a demo you can download and play today. I have my demo downloaded. I'm probably going to play it on stream maybe, or maybe not, just depends. And the coolest thing about the demo is that the save file will carry over into the full game. So just in case you did something really cool in the demo, I don't know what to expect. So usually when they're able to carry save files over, is that something big as part of the demo is going to happen, so you can save your progress. All right, shifting gears here, they did only mention that new game in the Mystery Dungeon, and then they had hella updates for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I knew this game was going to be freaking huge. I knew the content was going to come. We just had to be patient. All the naysayers, when the game was first announced and we got more details about it and what have you, please rest easy now, because the DLC is coming. More Pokemon are being added, and it blew my mind how much more things were added, because I thought it was just like, here's another 100 Pokemon that you can use and whatever, but they literally are adding to the existing gameplay. Game Freak's Matsuda Nomori came on the Pokemon Direct, and they announced the Sword and Shield expansion pass. Now, these are already able to be purchased in the Nintendo eShop, and the expansion pass, it's really cool because there's two parts of the expansion pass. New adventures, new islands, new stories, new Galarian forms of Pokemon, new NPCs, new rivals, new outfits. You can upgrade your bike. I saw like a little Rotom like image in the trailer. There's also images of the starters from the Kanto, other starters from different regions having Gigantamax forms. They didn't really touch on these, but you saw pictures in the trailer, and I am completely excited. They did talk about the Galarian starters having their own Gigantamax forms as well, which is completely freaking awesome. So we are going to get an expansion pack. That means DLC. That means they're bringing more Pokemon, 200 more Pokemon to be exact, into the game that you can trade back and forth. Now, one of the coolest things that they talked about after they showed all this stuff is that you don't need the expansion pack, you don't need the DLC, so you don't have to buy it if you don't want to get the new Pokemon. So they are going to update the base game as well, so you can have the new Pokemon without actually having to buy the new areas for whatever reason if you don't want to, because I definitely am. But normal process as it is, if you don't get the expansion, you can trade with people who have the expansion onto the base game, and that's how you can get those Pokemon. So after they announced it, Tanehiro Hiroyuki came out and talked about the two part of this expansion pack. So it's basically two separate stories with their own themes. So the first one they announced was the Island of Arma. I don't know why I said that so weird. The Island of Armor, which is going to be the first one that comes out. June 2020 is what they're saying. Now, I really think it's cool that they have like different themes, because this one is going to be the theme of growth. So you're going to see a lot of like nature, a lot of beaches, forests, caves, different places you can explore. Now, the main thing with this story is that you're going to be a apprentice in a battle dojo under a character named Mustard, which is really cool because right away I was like, Colonel Mustard, but whatever. And what's really cool about this guy is that he was the one that trained Champion Leon before you whooped his ass and became the champion. So you're going to learn from the master himself. And what's really cool is that he is going to give you a legendary Pokemon who you're going to train with. At least that's from my understanding. If I got that wrong, completely roast me and correct me. But the legendary's name is Kubfu. It's really cool, like panda bear looking Pokemon, and he's a fighting type. So he is going to go with you throughout your journey in the Isle of Armor. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that, but he is going to evolve later on, and he has two distinct styles. So no really much details that I can see that will tell us how he's going to evolve in these two. But the first style is called the Single Strike style. It's going to be a fighting and dark type, and then the other one is going to be a Rapid Strike style, which is a fighting water. And then you're going to have the two different forms that he can go to. Now, depending on if you're playing Sword or Shield, you're going to have exclusive moves and exclusive Gmax forms for the evolved Pokemon. So Kubfu evolves into Urshifu, if I'm saying that right. I can't remember how they pronounced it, but that is going to be really sick. I'm glad to see that they're really expanding and definitely keeping to what they said from the very beginning, that they are going to try new things. So hopefully the Isle of Armor just kind of says it in its name, where you can find different Pokemon that might be armored. So who knows? Because we had a lot of talk about that early on within the Galar region when they first announced it. So hopefully that can be really cool. Now, throughout the story of the Isle of Armor, that's when you're gonna start seeing the starters from the Galar region get their Gmax forms. So it's gonna be really cool. I started with Sobble, so I have my Inteleon, and the Gmax for Inteleon looks freaking awesome. He looks like a sniper perched up on a sniper mount. So I thought that was ridiculously awesome. And for everybody that said Pokemon Gun, Inteleon Gmax form looks like he has a sniper rifle. So that was bombastic to see. One thing I want to touch on with the Isle of Armor, I don't know if it's just for this DLC, this expansion part specifically, but when they were showing that there's new items, new TMs and stuff like that, there was one that stood out to me that they did not even touch on, which was apricorns. So apricorns, the little description says it can be made into Pokeballs. What? We can make our own Pokeballs now? what is this? I'm really excited to see and learn more about what apricorns are and what they mean to the game. Like, can you create more Master Balls, or can you just start creating like a weird variety of different Pokeballs that might not be in game? So that should be really cool. So I, for one, for some reason, am very frugal with my money in game. I don't like to spend it on tons of Pokeballs because I don't know if I'm gonna need them all. So I don't know why. That's just me. But if you can find these apricorns and you can make your own Pokeballs, that is something that kind of excites me as well. So that's really cool. I hope they expand on that a little bit more later on. All right, there's a lot of stuff here still to go over. Now, Tani Hiroyuki did also talk about the Crown Tundra DLC, which is the second part of the expansion pass. It says fall 2020. So they're staggering it and giving some time to play the first one before the second one, which is very smart in my opinion. Just so you're not overloaded and trying to get through things. They want you to fully experience what these new areas have to offer. So the Crown Tundra is an exploration theme. When you hear tundra, you think cold, you think ice. That's exactly what it is. It's another part of the map that's going to be covered in icy areas, covered in mountains. They're actually going to have different like temples, different ruins, and you're basically going to go on like an expedition throughout these places to find and research different things. Now, they touched over very quickly again. It says, in quote, a certain person will appoint you a leader of the expeditions. So they don't tell you who that person is, and my thinking is that if they're omitting that fact, dude, it's gonna be something wild. Maybe somebody from the past is gonna come out. There's been plenty of characters throughout the generations that quit Pokemon training and become researchers. Maybe Brock comes through again. You know, he wants to be a breeder and a Pokemon researcher. Gary from Kanto wants to be a Pokemon researcher. There's just so many people that this certain individual will appoint you a leader of, and I could be wrong. It could be a brand new character that we might not know about. So it's going to be awesome for this as well. Now, with the Crown Tundra, you're going to be introduced to a new legendary or mythical or however you want to call it. I forgot how to pronounce it already, so again, roast me if I do it wrong. But Calyrex, which is a psychic and grass type, and it said that they once ruled over a part of Galar. And that's basically all we got from that guy. So he should be, I think you are going to be able to meet him sometime within the Crown Tundra portion of the game. They also introduced a new co-op mode. So we have the max raid battles, which we help each other get those raid Pokemon. But now you can go into the freaking dens. Get this, guys. You can go into the dens and explore the dens within the Crown Tundra. Now, I don't know if that's going to expand to like the wild area or the areas within the Isle of Armor, but they announced this within the Crown Tundra when he was talking about it. In the co-op mode, I think you have to do it via co-op mode to explore the dens, but you can go in there, you can see what the dens look like, and you can explore around and get this. They are bringing every legendary Pokemon, every legendary from Pokemon Red up into Sun and Moon, and they are jam-packing it all into these dens. What they define with these exploring these dens is that you can literally see Pokemon Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing in front of you. So when I heard that, it sounds really exciting. So I don't know if they're going to be like in the overworld and then you're just going to see them sprout up. I don't know how that's going to work, but it sounds like each of these legendaries are going to be able to Dynamax. I mean, mostly every Pokemon can Dynamax, but it'd be exciting to see if these legendaries have their own Gigantamax version too. Because that will be sick and that will be awesome, because you will have a chance to catch all of these legendary Pokemon within these dens, as far as I understand it to be. Now, aside from the legendaries being jam-packed into the dens, they are adding more than 200 Pokemon into the game from previous versions. So with everybody that was saying stuff about the national dex being gone, blah, 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 they're adding more Pokemon. So it's not going to be all 800 and some odd Pokemon, but we're getting there. We are starting to see more and more Pokemon get added into the game. What does that mean for the dex? maybe the base Galarian Dex is going to stay the 400, and then they're going to have like an expanded Dex. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to go out and start catching more Pokemon and filling up these Dexes again. Now, one of the really cool things about these areas is that they said they're going to be seamless integrated part of the Galarian region as we know it. They're saying that it's going to be just like the wild area where you can just go back and forth and visit them. And these new areas are going to be chocked full of dens as well. So you can do max raid battles in whole new places, which is awesome because as cool as a wild area and as massive as it is, it's the same like 6 different spots that you can see. So them adding more to the wild area and expanding it even bigger is going to be very exciting. It's going to change how you raid, and it's going to just really cause you to be a little bit more deliberate in what you're trying to do, because it's going to be a massive expansion. And that's all they really said about that with as far as the den goes, and they said there will be more news coming, so I'm really excited to see how that all is going to fit in together. And it would not be Pokemon unless they gave you some goodies to start the day off after waking up early and watching that Pokemon Direct. So they said starting today live, if you update your game and you go to Wedgehurst Station, you get to meet your rival in either game within Sword and Shield for the Battle Pass. Now, I probably didn't mention this earlier, but if you get the Battle Pass for Sword, you get to meet your rival for the expansion pass of either Sword or Shield. Now, I probably didn't mention this earlier, but if you have the pass for Sword, you will have a rival named Clara who uses a poison type Pokemon. And if you have Shield, you're going to have a rival Avery, which uses Psychic type Pokemon within that Isle of Armor DLC. Not only do you get to meet one of them, but the Galarian Slowpoke will wander in and you'll have a chance to catch him as well. What's really cool about the Galarian Slowpoke is that there are specific items within the Island of Armor or within the Crown Tundra that you can have to evolve him into either a Galarian Slowbro or an Galarian Slowking, respectively. So really cool that they're letting you have it early. That is gonna be completely awesome. And after the update as well, they put something really cool that I thought. I'm major advocate for convenience. So after the game is updated, you can now access the e-store right from the, I guess, Pokemon dashboard within the game. So there's going to be like an option to do so. So that's going to be very convenient for you to just seamlessly switch over if you needed to. But, you know, you can always download the old-fashioned way and just go through the eShop. If you do pre-purchase the game, they are giving you clothes in game, so it's going to be a really cool Pikachu outfit and a really cool Eevee outfit that you can wear in game starting today if you pre-purchase. So I'm very happy with this update that they have. I knew that Sword and Shield is going to be next level. It's always going to be expanded, and even if they make a new core Pokemon game for the Switch, might not be until years down the line until they've exhausted the Galar region and all of its resources. That's my prediction. But until then, I feel like we're going to see a lot more new awesome things that come with the Galar region, with Pokemon Sword and Shield. In other news, they did touch on Pokemon Home, which they plan to launch in February. If you don't know, Pokemon Home is very similar to Pokemon Bank on the DS, where you can store Pokemon and transfer them from game to game to game. The only restriction for Pokemon Home to transfer old Pokemon is, of course, they have to be already available in the Pokemon Sword and Shield decks and the expansion once it comes out. So that's the only restriction, but like I said, they'll expand more Pokemon. Just be patient. They will all come eventually. I'm almost sure of it. And some of the things, like some of the stuff that you see in the background that they don't touch on, like this freaking Moltres looking thing, Zapdos, Articuno, are they Galarian forms of these beasts, or are they just like distant cousins? That's going to be freaking cool to find out. I've talked long enough. I will let you guys get back to your day. Catch me on Twitch. Let me know again what you guys think of these updates. It's going to be completely insane. I can't wait. But yeah, you guys, again, thank you so for coming by. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell and thumbs up. They are free things you can do to support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.